What popular rumor in your school turned out to be true? The band director was grooming and seducing his favorite female percussionists. Just percussionists? Would be a good Breaking Bad sequel. Rumor was the junior high English teacher was a bit of a perv. Most of our parents would say, hey, stop joking about that. Turned out he was. About 10 years ago he was arrested, charged and convicted on child porn charges. Bit of a perv seems slightly understated. Had a mean old shop teacher who was definitely looking at porn at work. I don't think it was child porn, at least, but he did make some questionable remarks to the girls. He retired shortly after I graduated. I say that because it was probably a wink-wink deal. You retire now and we won't say anything about your porn history on your work computer. His computer my first year was against the back wall and he was very cautious if you went to his desk. Was always clicking around and then would stop clicking. Looked at that damn screen most of the day. He barely taught anything, just put modules in front of us. Eventually someone caught him, alerted the administration, and he had to turn his computer around. 2 years later, he retired. Word on the street was he got caught by a teacher during his lunch break and was allowed to finish out the year. I had a science teacher that was rumored to get a boner whenever he started shouting. We thought it was a myth until we noticed it for real. He would always try put one leg up on a chair to hide it. Imagine him shouting breakfast is ready, then a bonus starts to appear. LMFAO the other day when a science teacher was sharing his screen on Zoom, a bunch of porn websites were in the bookmarks. He was a chem teacher, the sophomores noticed right away and shared the pics around. My friend sent it to me and I'm like, WTF? A girl in my econ class lost her dad, but a rumor started going around that he didn't die, he was arrested as a serial killer. Turned out to be true and was featured a few years ago on Evil Lives Here show. Which episode? When I was a sophomore in high school, the basketball coach became the new principal of the school. He had a girl who was on the girls' basketball team worked in his office. Back then students were allowed to work as an office assistant if their grades were good and if they're seniors. She was there almost all the time even when she wasn't supposed to be. The rumor was that they were sleeping with each other, because people would see them doing things after school, like running together and go out to eat somewhere. These rumors were later blew off as nothing because even though he was the principal, he still devoted his time to an after-school jogging/running class to help students and teachers stay active and keep in shape, and buying dinner at McDonald's for a student isn't the same as taking them somewhere more extravagant like steakhouse. After I came back as a junior from summer break, everyone in our class and in the entire school found out that they both got married and were expecting their first child together. He was married with children from a previous marriage that ended after the girl graduated from high school. Oof, how long are they married now? In middle school, there was a rumor my 7th/8th grade social studies teacher owned a pet donkey. Turned out to be true. His name was Pedro the donkey. I'm so glad there are some wholesome content after 99% comments of teachers students fucking. The band teacher was having a long-term affair with one of the students. We were in 8th grade. Her parents apparently knew about it all along and were fine with it, but one of the other band parents noticed inappropriate behavior when she was helping chaperone a Disney trip they were all on. It was big news lol. Why are the parents okay with it? Why what happened to the teacher afterwards? Some girl had sex with her half-brother. We all thought it was rumor until she got drunk at a party and told everyone. Same in my school, but they were actually brothers. Oof. A girl in my high school started dating a guy freshman year. Both her mom and his dad were recently divorced, so when they met because of their kids dating they hit it off with each other big time. The parents got married about a year later and they all 4 plus any siblings lived together after that. It was real awkward because the classmates broke up my junior year but lived in the same house and basically fought like siblings on the reg after the breakup. kind of wonder how they're doing now lol. We had heard an underclassman, she was 15ish, was sleeping with a local army guy, but nobody really believed it until the day our school got locked down. BC her boyfriend showed up with a knife. The boyfriend, in his 30s, was intending to force her go get an abortion, but our principal was a badass who locked her in his office, then took the boyfriend down and held him in a headlock until the cops arrived. That's a very badass principal indeed. In middle school, we had a cool social studies teacher. He loved the popular boys, especially the athletes, and not only ignored bullying in his classes of unpopular kids, he often took part in it. He also offered up his services for tutoring to these boys. Everyone always thought he was a child molester, except the popular boys who would threaten you if they heard you talk bad about him. When we came back to school at the beginning of 8th grade, he was gone. As was one of the more popular boys in school. He transferred to an insanely expensive private school. Turns out, sure enough, he was molested by the teacher several times during tutoring sessions at the teacher's house. The school district agreed to pay to send the kid to private school as part of a settlement. Oof, that's gonna affect the kid hard. Hope the kid is okay. Our freshman science teacher was a massive jerk to any girl, and would frequently throw the dress code book at girls for the slightest issue. Everyone said it was because he was pissed his daughter became a stripper. That ended up being true. The new teacher was rumored to be a pedophile. We found out it was true when he got arrested just a couple days into the second semester. How did the rumors even start? We had something similar to this happen at my middle school. We heard rumors for a while that the shop teacher was propositioning female students. Turns out, a couple years after I left, I guess some female students had heard about it too, because he came to school and beat the living shit out of the teacher. The teacher got arrested a few days later. Ah, the 80s, grimacing face. This was a rumor that went around my elementary school. Basically my school had a lockdown, but they didn't tell us what it was for. One kid came in the next day and told us that his sister said it was a cow in the field in between the high school and middle school. So my second grade class went and told everyone else in the school. The next day we had an assembly that confirmed this rumor. Ha 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 ha, this one's kinda funny. Hopefully the cow got taken off the field safely. I think this is the first wholesome rumor I've seen in this thread. No pedophilia, no murder, no weird sex things, just a cow doing cow things. Two of the science teachers do shrooms together. Found out cause one of their sons was a student. Lamau, they're just collaborating with their curriculums. I feel like that's just a science teacher thing to do. My previous chem professor was definitely into psychedelics, and my current chem professor is widely suspected of being a cocaine fan. Paige was pregnant. None of us believed her. We were 13 and we were just about to start sex ed classes in a few weeks to learn about sex, so we all thought she was making it up. Then she started to gain weight, but she had always been kind of overweight, and so no one really believed her then either. Then she brought sonogram pictures in because she was sick of people not believing her. Most people believed her after that. Then she got taken out of school, and this was back when FB was super popular and everyone was talking about her baby. A few months later she had posted all these pictures. Sorry I didn't believe you, Paige. I looked her back up when I was 15. She had a second kid. Reminds of the first day of health class my freshman year. The teacher said, "Jane Doe, is Jane Doe here?" A classmate said out loud, "Yeah, she had a baby yesterday." The teacher went, "Okay, you coulda said that privately." Everyone knew she was a 14-year-old mom when she came back to class. She later dropped out sophomore year. TF. My middle school math teacher, married man, was having an affair with one of the special education teachers. Went on for years. After I graduated high school, he killed himself when the other woman gave him an ultimatum. Confirmed by a family member that worked as a substitute teacher. Coincidentally, said family member also had an affair with another employee there that resulted in that employee shooting herself in front of my mother. What a roller coaster of events. WTF. That this hot chick at my school was banging 2 army recruiters. Found out it was true when they were on the news being arrested. One of them ran to I think Michigan with his wife and kids. Imagine trying to explain to your wife that you need to uproot everything including your kids and flee to another state because you fucked a high schooler. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.